Welcome to Trey's Chowdown Live, road trip in the USA on the back roads of Texas today to visit with the Trevino, Craft, Smokehouse, and BBQ family about their struggles to success and their new brick and mortar. We've traveled 33 states in the USA, and if you follow us, you'll find some great information about food, barbecue, sweets, bagels, pizzas, and more. Let's listen in as we talk to Dustin and Sarah. I'm in with Trevino's in Jacksbro, Texas. I met you guys. I think I met you the first time at the food truck event in Graham.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where I met you? Okay.
Food truck championship.
That's when you had your truck.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you sell that truck?
We sold the truck.
One of many trucks.
Yes.
That may have been our first truck when you met us.
It wasn't? Okay.
Oh, that was the second truck.
Was it?
Boy, that was a hot
Was
truck.
it black or orange truck?
It was black.
Oh, that was the first truck. Yes.
It was nice.
That was a work in progress. It was definitely a plating truck, so we had no cooking, nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
So we had just enough to take the barbecue, plate it, serve it, cut it, and right out the door. I think we were using a griddle you get from Walmart to heat up buns.
You made progress.
We made it work.
So let's fast forward. So you did that. You took a break, right? If I remember, you took a break.
Did. So
did you have to take an actual break, or did you move here and do something here?
So the story was kind of weird. We started off in Possum Kingdom,
right? And
then I put a post up, and I'll always remember that. I put a post up. Vaughn had taken a picture of a barbecue joint next to us, and I put, oh, hey, that's right in our neck of the woods. So for whatever reason, it triggered him coming out to see us. We were for 9 weeks. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, we did a boat show the night before that I didn't know I was planning to do. So I'd been up for 24 hours, was on 3 Red Bulls, and this guy shows up at our window, and I'm like, really? I was terrified. But I guess it went well, and then there was a write-up done, and that kind of helped us get rolling. So we went out there, we did that for a little bit, and then 6 months in, we hit the honorable mentions on the top 15 2021, and that was a real big thing for us because we still didn't know what we were doing. You know, we were just trying to make it work. I'd left oil and gas in kind of a messy separation from a business we built, and I had a 1.5 year non-compete, and so the whole, I remember calling the guys at Austin Smokeworks, and I was just BSing with Jimbo and Jason. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do for a 1.5 years. I've been doing directional for my whole life.
Oh, you were doing directional drilling?
18 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, 16 at the time. And he goes, you got a 1,000-gallon pit, man. Go make some barbecue, boy. He threw some expletives in there, but his guys go make some barbecue. So we just decided to make some barbecue.
Wait. Let's back up a little bit. For people who don't understand what directional drilling is, as people think you just drill. Most people think you just drill straight down.
Oh no.
No, you can turn sideways, bro. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So we were provided downhole tool, guidance tools, personnel, the whole 9 yards. We had about 70 employees at one point in time. We did that built it from scratch and for about 7 years, and then it kind of ended during COVID, and we kind of found a new direction in life. I had been cooking on the side for customers and for events and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we bought 1,000-gallon also.
Was you always cook with him? Sorry.
No, not when we were in Midland.
Oh.
It was when we came out to the lake and we opened up Trevino's. I got roped into making the tortillas, and that's where it began. And I have been cooking
ever since.
But I'm definitely the front of house. I love dealing with the people and working and running service. Okay. So he's more the cook. Obviously tortillas are my specialty, but people are my specialty.
She's playing it down. It's morphed. I'm the crazy neurotic mad scientist in the background. She's the buffer that basically keeps me in
the PR marketing people person.
Like we start service and she's like, I look in the truck, she's like, go away. She's like, your work is done here. So the long short, so we went from there, and then we went down to Hazlitt. Right. And at that point, I was cooking everything in the kitchen here, driving it an hour and a half down with auto shams and a generator on the back of that food truck, praying it wouldn't break down.
Because it did multiple times.
And we got down there, but the crowds were great. You know.
Do you think people, because nowadays food trucks are really in?
Yeah.
But do you think the average person realizes, they see these new shiny food trucks, they see the shows on the Food Network and the Travel Channel. Do you think they realize how hard it is to operate one of those food trucks and how easy but y'all make it, people's food makes it look easy, except when you walk up and your sweat's pouring in everybody's head.
It's so hard.
But people, I don't think they understand how much you have to improvise. It's kind of like being in the Marine Corps. Improvise, you have to improvise something every day almost.
It is a daily grind.
Every second of every day. That's why we cannot wait for the brick and mortar.
I mean, case in point, 2 weeks ago, we had to put winter protocols in place. So we had to...
Yeah, because temperature.
We had to fill our water tanks every day, and as soon as we filled it, we had to unhook the water hose, roll the water hose up, drain it, and put it in the corner of the
so it wouldn't freeze.
So it wouldn't freeze. And then when we ran out of water, we had to go back out, rerun it, run it again.
Yeah. So normally you can leave it hooked up all the time.
Yeah.
It saves time, and yeah.
And we were able to do that. Yeah. So little things, checking the propane lines, making sure that's good. No, I don't. And to be brutally honest, it took two. So you mentioned we took a hiatus, right? So we were winging it too in the very beginning, and we were lucky. Like people would come eat our food, which was a blessing. It's always been a blessing, but we didn't know what we were doing. You know, the business side of it was tough. We were trying to figure out how to be efficient, how to do it the right way. And we could make the food. We weren't really, and I've run businesses.
Yeah,
this is the hardest thing I've ever done or tried to do. And so we got pregnant with our fourth.
Oh, fourth?
Yeah.
Fourth
Child.
Yes.
11,
10.
Not for a dog, for the child. For the actual human child.
11, 10, 8, and 2 right now. And
that threw a little hitch in the...
Yeah.
You know there's ways to prevent that.
Yes. It has been done. And she'll never hear the end of it. So Palmer came, and that was we had to have an honest conversation. It was 110 in the 120 in the food truck.
Oh, but yeah, 110, 120.
Yeah. That's what we were saying. The last service we did in Hazlitt, Wicker came out and he took pictures of us, and I was like
drenched wet,
9 months pregnant, drenched in sweat.
And I just kind of, she looked at me. She's like, "Man, we've got to figure something out." And I was like, all right, I'll start calling some of my oil and gas buddies. And, so I went back to oil and gas for 2 years.
Though, that's fantastic that you had that option, because a lot of people who decided to break off and start a food truck or a barbecue restaurant are all in.
Yeah.
Everything, money's everything.
Yes.
And they don't have another option.
Yeah.
So the fact that you had an option was awesome.
So it was a blessing and a pain at the same time. Sure. So it was a blessing that we had the option. It was the hardest decision we've ever made and the worst 2 years for me personally. And
because you want to be back in
this.
He
thought about this every second of every day.
Like, she bore the brunt of it. I was miserable. So I put it in context. So over...
You don't barbecue that much?
Well, yes.
Obviously you do.
Over an 18-year career. So it was 20 now. I've been in and out of oil and gas. So for the first 14 years, I had 3 jobs, one business and 2 jobs. In that 2-year span, I had 3 jobs. And the last one I quit after 3 months. I'd never quit a job in 3 months, even as a 15-year-old working at Burger King for my first job. It was just miserable. It just wasn't right. It didn't feel like it's what God had us planned. But what it did is it allowed me time to step away, to talk to my buddies in the business, people like Dane, people like Derek, North Texas Smoke, and really go behind the curtain and say, hey, here's what everything we did that failed and we did wrong, because we failed. There's no way around it. We failed. And I had to own that failure and go to people and say, will you please show me what you're doing to make it work?
Hang on. Was it a failure or was it education that you had to just pay for?
It was education. Paid education.
I wouldn't call it a failure.
Yeah, paid education.
I'd call it paid education.
And so you talk about money. So what happened was our buyout and what little we had left all went into the barbecue business.
Sure.
So when we left barbecue, it's because we were basically out.
Yeah.
And the only option I had was to go get a job. And even this has been bare bricks. I mean, we are scraping to get this done. We found an amazing place, amazing group of people in Ken and Karen Hendricks that put a building together. They are
fronting. We're going to go look at it.
Yeah, they're fronting the entire build out. We're showing up with the used kitchen equipment, the old booths from Dairyland. It's been in business for 61 years before they shut down.
I like Dairyland, by the way.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna have the old booths there.
I worked at Dairyland.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so we failed, and
you didn't fail.
Okay, we learned. We got.
I wouldn't use the word failure because I've been responsible all my life. It's not a failure. If you learn something, it's not a failure, and you shouldn't put it on yourself as a failure.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
No,
it's a paid education, brother.
I appreciate you.
But you can't get in college.
No,
you know how you get it? You get it by doing it in that truck.
And we learned so much there. And then when I came back, Derek Hart with I was messing his last name, but Derek at North Texas Smoke, he let me go work a weekend with him. And in those 3 days, I learned so much that I was doing wrong and he was doing right, because that man is the food truck king. And
if you get out of your own element and go watch somebody else who's good at it, you first of all, when you're in your own element, it takes a lot longer to learn something. For me, I have to do it 10 or 15 times to learn it. But if I go work with somebody else, for instance, it's not even trying to teach me. I'm just watching, soaking up like a sponge. That's when I learn. I'm a hands-on kind of guy.
There's so many things this time around that we were just like, why weren't we doing that the whole time? Like just little things that have made things so much more efficient.
Waste, so much food cost. I mean, are like, so it's funny.
Food cost.
Now I run the books, because I ran the books of the other business with Becca, who was like my right-hand man in the oil field. She was amazing, but now I'm running it and they're working. Yeah. And it's small scale. We're a small town. We're happy with that. The town's been rallying around us. People are slowly starting to figure out we're here. And we're just hoping when we go into that brick and mortar and we actually have a place for people to come into, there's so much traffic going through 281 every day. Yeah. And we just want them to know.
Like I told you, Red River, Taos,
Lubbock, all of it.
All these areas. What's the town outside Clayton going into Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
Racehorse town, whatever that town is. Ruidosa.
So we're just hoping that folks can, make this a little destination.
That's something what you said. Before I forget one thing, that's something most people don't realize too, is they start a food truck, they don't understand numbers. And you have to look at your food cost and your labor cost and your ticket, everything every night.
That's what I was going to say.
You can't wait 3 or 4 days. You got to look at it, and you have to cost everything and make sure that it's there. Yeah. Because it'll get out of control. I mean,
when we had the freeze, it was a nail.
It's one bad day sets you back so far in the food truck. It's just so different.
And the biggest thing we learned too, and especially for the guys, is you got to grind.
Yeah.
So
you grind it.
So somebody, a buddy of mine, and the words seem harsh, but they weren't. And I won't name it, but he called me a dreamer the first go around. And that's the best thing I can say when people talk about what people don't realize how hard food trucks are. If you show up and you're more excited about running out and doing this and this, you got to be more excited about being able to provide as much service as you can and being open.
Sure.
You're open 1 day a week, 2 days a week is not enough.
No.
3 is the magic number for us out here to keep the staff we have to meet the numbers we need to get what we need to get our startup costs covered. But right now, we're still not paying ourselves. Sarah gets paid in Diet Cokes, and I get paid in the gratification of knowing that we're paying our employees.
But what you have to be a dreamer. My dad always said, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to dream.
Yes.
And if you don't dream and think about your dreams and put your dreams in front of you, you write them down whenever, you're not going to. That's part of. If you can't dream, you can't be an entrepreneur.
100%.
You won't believe in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself and your dream.
So we look at it this way: the metrics working with 11 services a month. The labor's in line. The food cost is in line.
Food cost, you know that now.
Yes. And we've magically got it to a number where we're hitting the tacos and the burgers.
Sure.
So everything here is made from scratch.
Yeah.
So
I was just fixing to go with that. So you're in Jacksbro now. You're going to your new building, and you make everything from scratch. So talk to me. You make everything, tortillas, everything from scratch. So
except for the bun.
Well, you get the buns from Dallas, but
those are. So where do you want to start?
You just talked a little about everything.
Okay, so we run. Let's start with the brisket. We run a McLaren Farbs brisket. They're great. They're fantastic. Every Tuesday we come in. So it's Fabian, Nancy, and myself. We come in, we trim our briskets. We take all the grind, and we do about a 70-30 grind for the sausage. Okay. And then we take the pork belly, and we trim it all. And then we take the remaining pork belly there, and we do an 80-20 combination of the ground pork belly and the ground brisket trim to make our sausage blend. We take 100% beef, which is about a 70-30 mix, and we make anywhere from 30 to 50 hamburger patties. We did buy a fancy little press, which is the burger.
You got a burger press?
We got a press.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it just makes it so much more uniform. We really enjoy it. So we do that. So that's our Monday. Well, I'm sorry, I said Tuesday. It's our Monday. So the truck comes in at 6 a.m. We come in at I come in at 6 to unload. I have them coming at 10 just in case it's late. And so we trim. We separate the fat. We make tallow. We mix the tallow with chilies.
That's beef tallow.
That is beef tallow.
For people who don't know, that's beef tallow.
So everything fried here. So our tacos, our quesadillas, they're all fried with chili oil that's made from the tallow. So
chili oil, that's good.
Yeah, so we don't use seed oil. So we use tallow for that. We trim and season our ribs on that day. We make a jalapeno cheddar sausage, and we make a house picadillo sausage.
Awesome.
Those are made on Monday. They are cold stored overnight, uncovered till Tuesday, or Fabian comes in on Tuesday and he will cold smoke them. Once he cold smokes them, we let them sit out a little bit longer to dry the casings, and then they're packaged in pars for every service day. Every service day they're brought out, they're warmed up on the pit to the temperature we like. I'm real weird about wrinkles in sausage, so poor Fabian has to deal with me. So there's a system to it to keep them from getting wrinkly. And so those are both made from scratch. The turkey is bought. We season that. The ribs, we were always spare rib folks, but we switched down to a St. Louis style rib because our thoughts were, this is a smaller town. This is a town that is in...
looks really good, though. I mean, it looks perfect. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. We're really happy with how we're happy with where the ribs have kind of progressed. So we cook the ribs, and the reason we went that size with them is because we're in a smaller town, small rural America. Everything around here is value driven. We want to be able to provide you with a plate. If I'm running those 475 spares, those are amazing. But one rib can weigh half a pound.
Yeah, and not only that, I think when you're setting like this, like we used to own restaurants, these settings, you have to do what's familiar to the people that live here. They're not going to go for all this crazy stuff. So
if I have a half pound one meat plate and I give that to somebody and there's less than 4 ribs on there, even if it's over half a pound, I'll feel like I'm doing a disservice, and I know they will too. Yeah. And so I can't tell you how many times we'll look at a plate going out, and Sarah and I'll stop and be like, add a rib. Because I think about it from my side of the view, right? You know,
they like to eat out here.
Well, they do. But you know, everybody's tight right now. It's tight for everyone, ourselves included. So I like to think about it like, what would I say if that came out to me? And I paid $20 for a plate.
Mentally, what would you say?
Yeah, what would I say? Yeah. What would go through my head if I saw 3 ribs on them? Well, I want 4. Now, if we run the big spares, I can't do that. Because 4 of those ribs is a pound and a quarter. So we thought that these would be a little bit better. The turkey is it's a pre-brined turkey. We season it in a certain way.
It looks good. The color.
Thank you. We get those cooked off and finish it with a honey butter glaze.
How are the burn-ins done? Because they have the perfect glaze on. They look fantastic.
So the burn-ins, we do a 2-step process. We cook them as a whole square. And
they're beautiful.
Thank you. We cook them as a whole square. We pull them. We fridge cool them, and we actually cool them down. We chill them, and then the day of service, we come in and we cube them. We take the edges of them and we sear them on the flat top with some seasoning, and typically that goes on our. We top it.
If you try to top burn-ins when they're warm, all the stuff runs off of it, right? It won't have that.
100%. So we take all the edges, we cube them, we dunk them, and we use big wicks. We use big wicks jalapeno chili, and we mix that with our barbecue sauce because we love it, and Weston's great. I mean, we've been using big wicks forever. We dunk it, we put them on the pit. We cook them up to about serving final temp, and then we glaze them one more time on the pit and let it tack up one more time, and then we pull them off and serve them.
Awesome. And then you make your own tortillas. Tell me about that process. You have your own press.
I'll let her tell you.
Mom, tell me about those.
We do. We make our tortillas by hand. We use our beef tallow in the tortilla recipe. We've had equipment over the years, and whenever we shut down, we sold off the equipment. So currently, mixing it all, and we did get a good mixer from David at Dairyland, thank goodness, but still rolling them all by hand, and we have a hand press in the truck. So we press them to order.
That's just, you just can't get more authentic than that.
Yes, authentic and fresh.
We literally had a $15,000 Besco press that we had paid $5 for to use, and they would stick half the time because they're heavy on the fat.
This is the best way.
This is literally a $90 thing made in Mexico off Amazon, and I had to open it up and repair it the other day. No solders.
Oh, I just saw that. Was that coffee?
Coffee, yeah. No solders, no welds. Like, we literally had to go and perform surgery on the thing.
Yes.
And it's...
We need to order another one for that. Very stressful.
So we found it, and we found that, just having the balls there and pressing as we go. I mean, it's like you said. I mean, you order a plate from here, it's getting pressed by Nancy, and she's throwing it on the flat top and cooking it.
These just look fantastic. I mean, look at those. I mean, that just looks delectable.
Quesadillas and tacos.
That just looks absolutely
awesome.
Like a very guilty pleasure.
So I don't even have to eat that, and I can tell you that thing's going to be flavor loaded. It's going to be incredible.
So chopped brisket, some seasoning, onions, cilantro, chili oil.
We actually cilantro.
Yeah, I love cilantro. We actually found that we do the chili oil. We put the tortilla down raw and we let it cook with the chili oil on it to get that color infused on it. Flip it, cook the backside, flip it back, load it with all the toppings, and slow run it.
Awesome.
And Nancy's been the queen of that. So
your beans?
So the beans, chado beans. So we cook those one-step process, pork hocks, garlic, onions, and then when we get to stage 2, it's got hickory smoked bacon in there, chorizo, additional onions, jalapenos, all cooked together in one meal, dumped in the pot. We take some chilies and we smoke them. We peel them. We throw them in a blender with some bean juice, whip them together, toss them in to get that little hit of chili in the back end.
They look good too.
It's kind of our beans. Throw a little burn in on there for fun.
And then two more things here. Your elote and then your...
Yep. So our pan-fried potato salad is...
Wait, it's pan-fried?
It's my albatross recipe.
Listen, all these recipes are very complicated.
I know, that's okay. So it comes out with the flavor, what you're trying to achieve. I know that's labor intensive though, isn't it?
Yes.
So it is... We've had to make adjustments, to say the least. So what we do now... We used to pan fry them all the way. It was too labor intensive. It didn't make sense. So now what we do is we parboil them.
Okay.
So we parboil the potatoes in a salt bath, pretty heavy brine solution. We pull them out about 80%. We put them on the flat top with tallow.
Sure.
We also pre-cook some bell peppers, red bell peppers, green bell peppers, onions. We season those up. We add that in. We cook it all together on the flat top like you would a breakfast potato.
Sure.
You season them like breakfast potatoes. Pull them out, and they have to chill on a butcher paper sheet pan with a cooling rack. We have to get them down to temperature so it doesn't break the mayonnaise, and then we put them in the mayonnaise base, and there you go.
They look good. I love the color.
Yeah, and the thing, at the end of the day, it's a potato salad. I mean, it tastes like a potato salad. It feels like a potato salad. There's just kind of a weird flavor.
I was just fixing to say it's got to have a different flavor too.
It's got a different flavor to it.
Bro, I can't wait to try that.
Mac and cheese is a queso mac. We make the queso from scratch. We used to use full-size rigatoni noodles. Yep. Start with the roux, flour. We start with the flour roux, flour and corn roux, and then we throw our seasoning in there to kind of open it up a little bit. Perfect. Then we'll add some evaporated milk and milk to the mixture. We use a mix of jack cheese and what I call cheater cheese, the golden velvet from
cheater cheese.
Well, we used to use all the acevedos and all the crazy cheeses like that. Right. The problem is they don't hold up.
Yeah,
and they
break down.
They break plump, and so we found 2 reasons. One was a cost issue, and the second part was we really weren't happy with how it was traveling. So again, the 2 years off, I spent. When I did that little
testing,
that YouTube stint I did, it was just testing.
Yeah.
And all we did in the backyard was test and test. How can I make this product? How can I do this? How can I make this quicker? Mm-hmm. How do I not have to be
YouTube is the best educator.
Well,
I mean, you can find anything you want.
Well, we started a channel.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And that was my testing channel. So I started, and I realized really quickly what y'all do is very hard. Editing. No.
My productions I do, like for Instagram and YouTube stuff, it'll take me anywhere from 8 to 15 hours per.
Yeah.
I'm not a social media. I'm not what you call influencer. I mean, we do we do the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Articles, everything. So I'm very OCD.
Yes.
And I want to write. So yeah,
we did 4, maybe 5 videos, and I was like, yeah, that ain't happening. Now that's 4 kids. I always say we have 8 heartbeats in our house. We got 4 kids ourselves, like 2 cats and a dog.
People you used to see these little 20 and 30 second interviews. I mean, look, the 20, 30 second.
Oh yeah, that takes hours.
It takes a long time.
Long time. Like I learned how to use, and we just had the Apple thing. I remember doing the intro. Like at first it was fun, and then like by the 3rd or 4th video, I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna leave this to the front. But the good news was it got my cooking bug rolling.
Yeah.
And everybody says they're gonna come back, and it was just one of those things I couldn't let go. And then I was like, hey, I wonder if I do ribs this way, and then I wonder if I do belly this way, and I wonder if I cook it to this temp and then try this, and I wonder if I can cool them down and bring them back up, like with the belly, and then oh wow, the texture's better. And honestly, I learned that too, and I don't want to take credit for that. The guys at Local Craft, the Blunt Brothers, I learned that from them on the
Good
belly,
guys.
and that was awesome on their part.
Good guys.
But I took what I learned from them and then went and played with it in the backyard, and I was like, oh, man, it's better. The texture's better. The elote, that's Fabian, 100%. Fabian came in, he had an elote recipe. We took it and ran with it.
You added the chorizo.
We added some chorizo to it, for sure.
You knew he had to put something in there.
I know. I felt so bad.
He can never leave well enough alone.
He brought it in such a great, simple recipe. It was perfect. And then I had to complicate,
You took is that a marker on your hat?
Oh, yeah.
You got a hat that says brisket vibes only. It's a marker.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's what you call save money.
Yes.
Well, he has no patience.
I have a big head is the problem. So I had to get a mammoth hat because it's the only one that fits.
You have no patience? I can't believe I got lots of patience.
Oh, I got none. Zero.
Zero.
She is my patience.
Zero.
Sarah's my patience.
Okay, real quick, sauces.
Okay, so barbecue sauce made from scratch, 2-step process. The avocado sauce is made from scratch. Sarah makes that every day.
Make the avocados fresh every day. You have to.
The coleslaw is a 70-30 blend of purple to green cabbage. The slaw base is made in-house every day. It's got a South American feel to it.
Beautiful.
It's definitely a traditional, more of a Hispanic take on coleslaw.
The pickles and onions.
Pickles and onions are made from scratch every day. On Tuesdays, Nancy takes our...
You don't have to make those every day, yeah.
Yeah, Nancy takes our recipe. It's a quickle, so we do them every week. They go in hot. We've found, and Derek gave me this little tip, we cheat a little bit on the color with some beet juice, but it doesn't affect the flavor if you do it the right way. But it gives us that vibrant.
Makes it pop on the tray, yeah.
But we've got about 14, 15 ingredients in our pickle brand.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you two different questions. So just hang on. So what's your favorite thing on your menu? What's your favorite thing?
Scariest thing ever now with Nancy back there and where it's gone, it's our burger. The bun got smushed a little bit in this wrapper,
That's
but
all right.
that brioche bun, the cheese skirt.
I love the bun. I can tell. I can look at it.
Oh yeah, it's a smoked and seared burger, so it's a half pound of meat. We smoke them to about 130. We take them, we chill them, and then that way we only season one side. Chill the oil down on the thing, season side down.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then we season the back side. We do the cheese skirt on top, butter, lettuce, homemade pickles, onions, barbecue aioli.
Good wait to it.
Yeah. And that literally,
I'm going to eat that driving home.
yeah, that's what I think about. So yeah, no, I'm saying, but it's got the crispy, crunchy. So what we do is we season the backside, we flip it again, and then we're toasting both buns, and then we'll finish with.
I think toasting the bun is essential to the perfect flavor on a burger.
It is the burger.
Yeah.
And then those come from
Signature Bakery.
Yeah, out of Dallas, and they have a great brioche bun.
I tell everybody this, and I did my national burger list this year for Dr. Phil, best chain burgers.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, if the bun is not right, I don't even try, because the bun it's like the dough of the pizza. It's the essential part to make the thing right.
It keeps the bottom from getting mushy and soggy, especially when you've got things in there. The little butter leaves a little bit of flavor. Here you'll get the crunch. So you get the crunch of the meat because of the edging on it, and then you get the crunch from the bun, and then you get the salty, and then it hits the lettuce and the aioli. It's just kind of a mix of yumminess.
Man.
Yeah, I love it.
Flavor explosion.
Even when I worked at Burger King when I was 15, they used to have those steamers.
Yeah.
So they would run them down the Whopper line, and we would put it together and throw it in the steamer. And that steamed bun, it's just got to be soft.
Yeah.
If you don't have a soft bun, it just kind of takes away from it.
Or stale bun.
Yeah, it breaks my heart when I see a burger done really well and they just put on a bun straight out of the package. It just doesn't feel right.
What's your favorite thing?
I'm weird. Anything in a tortilla.
Yeah. What you make them? Why would that be weird?
I know. Literally, the quesadillas are to die for. But what I eat every day in the truck is just a tortilla with anything in it. I'll throw mac and cheese in it and tell Fabian, hey, cut me off a whatever little chunk of meat you've got.
You make your own concoctions.
Yeah. So it's a tortilla, a little bit of corn or mac and cheese, and a meat. Pork belly.
Jana, when I put stuff in your jail, I say, what are you doing? I don't want one of your concoctions.
Every day I look at Sarah, it's like tortilla.
Taco.
And she's like, hey, Fabian, throw this on there. Or throw this. I think the best I saw was pork belly, mac and cheese, and a tortilla.
Right.
And honestly,
Okay, so give us. We're gonna go see your restaurant, but give us your socials. Give us all your socials and your new address and everything for here.
So we are at Trevino's Craft Smokehouse on Facebook, at Trevino's Craft Smokehouse on Instagram. We are just finishing our new website design. We had to buy our domain back. Yeah. That'll be www.trevinoscraftsmokehouse.com, and then you can find us at Google. Our current location is 732 North Main in Jacksbro, Texas, 76458. We're open 11 to 4, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Our new location will be 120 North Church Street in the downtown square. Our estimated open date is March 14th.
Awesome.
And we will have beer.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
And we're going to go see the new building.
Definitely.
What an awesome interview, and I'm so happy for the Trevinos and their new brick and mortar. Let's check out their barbecue. Look at this. I'm telling you, smoked low and slow with their own spices and rubs. Look at the sausage, the brisket, the smoked turkey. Look at those ribs right there. I'm telling you, the ribs, oh, they were simply porkalicious, and you can't forget their burnt ends. They make those with several flavor options as well. Oh, but their barkalicious brisket. Look at this, succulent, flavorful. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is brisket perfection. And their handmade stuffed sausage with their own flavor profile. Got that nice snap when you bite them. So delicious. But their homegrown, handmade artisan tortillas are one of my absolute favorites. I don't think you'll find a better one in the state. Look at that right there. I'm telling you how good they are. Let me tell you how good they are. When you run out, you're going to have naughty, naughty dreams about them. I'll tell you right now. Look at that quesadilla right there. Woo-wee! If you haven't tried their quesadillas or anything with their tortillas, you got to check it out. Right now, let's check out the new brick and mortar that's under construction in downtown Jacksbro, Texas. Wow, what a ride the Trevinos have had, and they're lucky to have their new brick and mortar. Please follow them. Support local, support family business, support Texas barbecue. Heck, support deliciousness, because that's what they're slinging at Trevino Craft Smokehouse and Barbecue. Deliciousness. Again, in downtown Jacksbro, Texas. A Trey's Chowdown favorite and a must-visit on the Texas Barbecue Trail. Hope to meet you at the table soon.
We are out here at our South Victory Plaza with the man that we turn to whenever we want to know what food is the best in the state of Texas. That is Trey Chapman of Trey'sChowdown.com.
Best breakfast spots in North Texas with Trey's Chowdown.
So food expert Trey Chapman. Texans know beef, and if you're looking for the best steak in town, we called in the food expert Trey Chapman.